Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 12th, 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. So now let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We are crowned by the Strength card, so strong Leo energy coming through. We then have the Sun reverse, so there's a blessing coming, but it's on pause for one reason or another. Angels and spirit guides. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the King of Wands. We have the 10 of Cups. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And we have the Ace of Cups coming through. So that's really quite a beautiful lineup that we have here. What the tarot is saying to us is that strength is going to come in surprisingly intensely during this time. We also have a connection with the Archangel Gabriel coming up, which, and we will talk about that more during this reading, but we're going to see strength in that connection through divinity, that connection with greater knowledge and greater power. There's a sense here of letting ourselves shine, but we're apprehensive of how do I let myself shine? How do I step into what I need, who I am? Also, is there room? Okay, so you know that little kid book is the room in the on the broom, or like what is it, the witch on the broom, or something like that. And it's like, is there room on the broom for and then they'll say like a dog like me or somebody like me type of thing. And that's the energy that I'm getting here. It's like, is there room on this magical, beautiful thing for a person like me? And Spirit is saying yes, but do you see yourself? Do you see what you want? Do you see what you're heading towards? Do you see the doors that you're trying to open and what you're expecting for you? With the Seven of Pentacles reversed, we are having a hard time with patience. We're having a hard time. We're really looking at things and saying, okay, how can I be patient? How can I be kind with myself? How can I move me in the direction that I want? And then the Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, amplifying the Leo energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Leo, or we have Leo in our charts, or Leos in our lives, they're going to be very important people to us during this time, for better or for worse. We might be like, oh my gosh, seriously? Because Leos can be a bit of drama, right? But that's going to be important. There's going to be this light and the spark, and Leos are ruled by the sun, so that energy is really coming forward here. Three times said, and three times needing to be understood. The King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's embracing our passion, our fire, our determination, and saying, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what's important to me. With the 10 of Cups, what is your happiness? Not what is your expectation, not what do you think your happiness should be, but what is your happiness? What is your beauty? And what do you want from your life? How are you moving yourself forward towards your joy? And are we looking at everybody else's happiness or things that they want, or, things that we're told that we should want, and saying, oh, that's what it should be, instead of saying, but this is who I am? And it brings us then to the Ace of Cups. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. Are we taking it? And we are taking it because the Ace of Cups is here in the upright position. But there's a fear around the emotion that comes with it. And this is an emotional moon. This new moon is at 20 degrees, 40 minutes in Sagittarius. It is the fourth of 7 new moons that have powerful new beginnings, new chapter energy to them, that have us looking at things and saying, there's something more here. Now, that more can be put on pause for a little bit, yes, but there's also an impatience, this sense of, how am I opening up my gifts, my talents, my power, my purpose? It doesn't mean we have to monetize it, okay? We don't have to make money off of everything that we enjoy, okay? And that's the best way, I pause because that's the best way to say it. In our modern world, or in our Western world, we think everything has to end with a paycheck. And sometimes things just get to end with laughter and good cheer and happiness, and that's enough. And so there's a power here to that as well. So now, before we dive deeper into the reading, because you guys know I love my singing bowl, let's do a meditation. But first, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowman in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced in a separate video on the 1st of January on New Year's Day. So good luck to everyone, and don't be fooled, don't be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box pretending to be me. It will not be me. So wait for that video to come up. All the instructions will be in there, and good luck to everyone. And if you're interested in purchasing a reading or a meditation or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's linked in the description box below, as are all the cards. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Virgo, let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. Angels and Spirit guides. Here we have wish. What we are wishing for, what we deeply want during this time is going to come up by this new moon. I mean, the key words and the main words for this new moon are awakening and truth. We're going to see that coming forward very powerfully, but also hope and optimism and a sense of adventure and a longing for freedom. What we wish for is coming forward. And we're going to be looking at things and saying, is this what I really want? Or is this what I've been told that I want or should want, or how things should be? Is this where I need to be for me? Or is this where the world is telling me to be? So looking at what we wish for, looking at what we deeply want and deeply long for. This isn't a cross your fingers, oh, I hope I get like a Rolex or something like that type of wish, because even though that's super impressive, it's not, it doesn't have the substance to what our soul is here for. It's not to collect all the ooh and ah things. It's to live powerfully and beautifully as ourselves. And so the wish that Spirit is seeing, it is coming forward. The hope, the optimism, the sense of adventure and creativity and freedom that Sagittarius promotes in our lives, it's coming forward. But it's going to be in a different way than we anticipated. It's going to be different than how we had envisioned things. Remember, when we're in the world, our words are limited. Our imagination is limited by the world we grew up in, by the way we were raised, by what we see. And so here, when Spirit is saying connect to what you deeply wish for, it's like connect to your life purpose and see how that moves you forward. Because it is one of the hardest things to do, to say, what is my purpose here on this earth? And where do I need to be for me? Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. And it leads us to the crown chakra, which is spiritual awakening. And this energy and focusing on the crown chakra is one of the most important things that we can do in this new moon, because this new moon is strongly linked to Neptune. Neptune comes through very, very powerfully. So does Mercury. But Neptune brings the spiritual into today. So this new moon is squared Neptune. And it brings the spiritual, again, into the day today. And it also brings the mystical forward. So what we're going to see here is that we're having a spiritual awakening during this moon. We're having a spiritual understanding of ourselves coming forward. And there's a sense of, am I awakening into my power? Am I listening to the power of the Archangel Gabriel, who is coming forward quite powerfully during this time and saying, where do I stand? What do I belong to? Like, what do I need to be? Now, we can have a tendency towards dogmatism, okay, dogmatic behaviors, towards being highly opinionated, all right? And we'll see this in ourselves, and we'll also see this mirrored back to us in the rest of the world, because we do have the new moon and the sun conjunct Mars in Sagittarius. And this brings very fast moving energy forward, but it also brings very opinionated and also dogmatic energy. So when we're moving towards spiritual awakening, are we limiting ourselves by certain ideas and ideologies? It doesn't mean that we have to give up any orthodoxy that we follow, and it doesn't mean that we have to, be a certain way. But Spirit is saying here, don't limit you. Open the door and say, Spirit, how do you want me to move forward? Where is it that I need to be? What is it that I am discovering within me? It brings us then to the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And that is the Princess of Pentacles reversed. So we are represented by the Pentacles, Virgo, in the minor arcana. And when spirit says, hey, be mindful, it's like, hey, be mindful. We cannot be respecting our inner child. Hey, be mindful. We may not even be respecting ourselves and what we desire and what we want and what we kind of know to be right, but we can be caught up in everything else. So the Princess of Pentacles is coming forward and saying, connect with your inner child. That is going to be, first and foremost, one of the most important things that you can do. Connect with your inner child. Say, where is it that I need to be for me? What is it that I have dreamt of since I was little? And how am I incorporating that into my day-to-day world? Also be mindful during this time that childish energy can be coming forward from us or from somebody else. Most likely an earth sign energy, but somebody who can be very petty around how is this growing? How are we moving things forward? Where are we getting to? Like, what do we desire? What do we want? And they could be very much all about them, them, them. So be mindful about this during this time because it could knock us off our path. It brings us then to this place where we're looking at things. And this is a very powerful new moon. We're looking at things, and this is a time to really set our intentions. A new moon is always a time to set our intentions, but there is strength in setting our intentions to how we want to grow and how we want to gain during this new moon. From new moon to new moon, but also from new moon to full moon, which is a heck of a lot closer, right? The full moon is on the 26th of December. And so what we're going to see here is that in a short period of time, we can have a lot of growth coming forward. We can have a lot of revelations coming our way. Our strength is in kindness. Our strength is in compassion. What is the intention that we are putting forward for ourselves? And is that intention aligned with why we're here on earth? Is it to prove something to someone else, or somebody said we couldn't, and now we're going to be darn sure that we show them that we can? So here with strength, it's how do I step into my strength, and how do I step into my power, and how do I know myself? Now, this is an interesting time because 5 planets are in mutable signs. A mutable sign, such as Sagittarius, is a sign where it's easy to adapt to change. But because so much energy is in a mutable sign, we can feel overwhelmed by change. So be mindful about this because Neptune and Saturn are in Pisces, and the Moon, the Sun, and Mars are in Sagittarius. So even though we can easily adapt to change, we can see change more easily. Again, we're more adaptable. We can be less overwhelmed by things, but we can feel very overwhelmed that so much is changing so quickly. And how do I keep up? How do I keep going? What is it that I'm looking for? Our strength comes in standing still at the exact time where it feels like I just have to be running, right? I just have to go fast and go strong and keep on going. So be mindful about this during this time. It brings us to this place where the sun comes forward, but the sun is reversed. So the sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. And I used to sit there and think the sun card reversed meant no, but it doesn't mean no, it means pause. It means pause. So here we're moving towards a yes, but what are we paused over? What are we waiting for? Now, this is also greatly aligned in the way that I'm seeing things with the fixed star of Persia. So Saturn is conjunct the fixed star of Persia. I'm going to butcher the name. I do apologize, but this is Fomalhaut. And Fomalhaut is a fixed star, okay? Only moves 1 degree every 72 years. So this energy is important to us. It really is. And Fomalhaut is linked with the Archangel Gabriel. That's why Gabriel, the Archangel, has been mentioned so many times in this reading, but that's why it's coming forward so powerful during this time. This angel is coming forward to say, hey, listen, I am the intermediate between, the divine and the human beings. And so here we're going to be guided in ways that we hadn't thought we could be or needed to be or didn't think we could understand. But also understand that Fomalhaut is also linked to the dragon and the serpent energy. And in Persian history, in Persian mythology, the dragon is not the symbol of rebirth and power, which is what I initially thought when I saw, oh, it's linked to dragon energy. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. But in Persian mythology, it's linked to demons. And so what demons are we facing? Or what demons have we had to overcome in order to stand in our strength, in order to stand in our story, in order to say, this is what I want, this is what I need, and this is where I need to be for me? What is on pause right now that we need to open up and say, where do I stand? what do I want? And who am I? It brings us then to this energy of impatience. Everything is moving quickly, right? We already saw that with the new moon and the sun conjunct Mars in Sagittarius. It's like we have that fast moving energy coming forward. We don't want to be patient. We don't want to look at the seeds that we are planting and say, okay, there's value here. Okay, I need to slow things down. We're going to look at things and say, you know what? You've had long enough, right? You've had long enough. Let's get going. Dreams, people, ideas, they all develop at different times. And so when we're looking at things and we're frustrated, I didn't make it in this time frame. I wasn't this by this. Stop comparing yourself to others. That is going to be one of the most important things we can do for ourselves. And start saying, okay, what is it that I need to be more patient with to watch grow and to see me succeed? What is it that I'm worried about? What fear is coming forward? What anxiety is trying to stop me? And being mindful about that, it very much brings us to this Mercury trine Jupiter energy, which brings us, in a sense, it brings things forward for the future. Stop being patient with the future. It comes quickly enough. It does. And never quite in the way that we envisioned it. Sometimes better, sometimes worse than we ever imagined. But it comes forward. And that's not a ominous warning. It is just saying, be kind to ourselves and celebrate where we stand right now. Because it's more precious and it's more important than we realize. And time goes by fast. It really does. And so here, when we're looking at things with impatience, when we're looking at things with chaos, slow it down and remember to connect with you. That is going to be a game changer here. Now, we also have Mercury conjunct the dwarf planet. And again, I'm butchering names and I do apologize, but Quaoar, Quaoar. And this is a creation god. And it's a creation god that brings order out of chaos. And is highly linked to the spiritual world. So we're going to see in the realm of all things linked with Mercury. Mercury is communication. We are actually ruled by Mercury, Virgo. So when Mercury comes forward, and it's like all things that are in chaos, which can very well be us, because Mercury is all over the place during this time. It's powerful, it's intense, but it also rules us. So that intensity, that power comes forward. And we're going to see ourselves looking at our passion, looking at our fire, looking at what we desire and what we want. And we're going to see order coming out of the chaos, mainly through the sheer willpower of determination, like the sheer sense of this is my passion, this is what I desire, and this is what I want. We can be strongly linked to fire sign energies, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Leo is coming through very, very strongly during this time. The sense of strength, the sense of letting ourselves shine, the sense of embracing an adventure, embracing moving forward. Now, there is a sense here of looking at things and wanting something bigger. So just be mindful about this. Be mindful of standing where we are right now, nurturing our dreams to open up the door to move forward, but saying, okay, if I want something bigger, I need to first start with the small things I have right in front of me that I can accomplish. Because once we start winning, once we start succeeding at things, that's going to be a confidence boost. That's going to be super empowering. And we're going to see the game changing really, really well. Now, the new moon and sun are trine Eris, the dwarf planet Eris, and the north lunar node. There we go. And this brings very empowering energy, very individual energy forward, and it's moving towards truth and fairness. And we also have that shown right here with the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. What is your happiness? What is your joy? What do you love, Virgo? It's taking time for that. It's also connecting with those that you love with a sense of what am I building? How am I laying the foundation for more and greater things in my life, for joy to come forward? And it's saying, this is my happiness. This is what I'm really good at. And letting me shine here instead of trying to make us into somebody that we're just not. It's like, okay, not everybody can be XYZ. What am I trying to say? It's kind of like saying that when you grow up, you have to be a princess. Well, that's just not logical for most people ever. It's not kind of a career thing that you can put down in school. Oh, that's what I want to be when I grow up. And yet we're told that's what you should want to be. That's how you should want to be. And so Spirit is saying here, what do you really want? Not what you were told to be, not what people suggested you should be, not what you thought was romantic and wonderful and ooh and ah when we were little. But what do you want to be? And what is your happiness? What is your power? What is your connection? What makes your heart sting? I listened to a person and she always says heart jumping. Oh, this was heart jumping to me. And I think that's so cute. I think that is such a beautiful way to say it. Does it make your heart sing? Does it move you forward in joy and prosperity? Does it connect with you? And we're going to be seeing a lot of that during this time because we've come to a completion of a cycle emotionally. And we're saying, okay, where does my heart matter in all of this? And how does my heart show up in all of this? The new moon and the sun are tightly conjunct Uranus, and this brings an awakening. And we're going to see that with our heart coming forward with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. And it can come in the form of tears. We can be so emotionally connected to things that it's intense, it's powerful. This is a time where we're looking at, where does my heart stand in all of this? How am I showing up for me? We can have our 9-to-5 job, right? We can have our career. But what do I love? And how am I connecting with what I love and what I'm passionate about? The Ace of Cups is astoundingly important because it's saying to ourselves, how am I filling my heart? And how am I giving to me my grace, my joy, my prosperity, and my love? So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Yeah, we are going to have a bit of a difficulty with passion. So just be aware of that. Not passion, patience. But also with passion here, because spirit always has me misspeak in like the most apropos way, in the way that it really wants me to get its point across. So here we're not going to be patient. We have a lot of passion moving us forward though. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Yeah. So it's really interesting here. And the first thing I just want to talk about is with the 10 of Cups. Even though this isn't crowning the reading, it's so important because we have nothing will come of the situation and it's reverse. And we have patience here reverse. We're going to be very impatient to get what we love. And there's going to be a sense of, I'm filling up my cup, right? I'm taking care of me. And Spirit is saying, that's great, right? We need to take care of ourselves. But there is also a sense, I'm just seeing like I'm filling up my cup with whatever instantaneously makes me happy. And Spirit is saying, be mindful, okay? Be mindful of that energy because we need to be discerning of the energy that we're taking in and the way that we're empowering and moving ourselves forward. There is a sense with nothing will come of the situation that what we think of will come, okay? But we'll be very surprised at the way it comes forward. We'll be very surprised at the way that we move forward in this time and what we love and what we're passionate about. So just be aware of this, okay? That's going to be a very important thing. The void, of course, is a time frame during the moon cycle, okay? And it lasts only for a few minutes, but it is a time where things go topsy-turvy. Nothing goes according to plan. You're going to have things go according to plan, but there's just a fierceness of acceleration to it that it's like, okay, but now what? And is this even worth it? So just be mindful about this during this time, because there's a sense here of when we embrace strength, when we embrace the strength of compassion and love, to trust ourselves and to say, luck is on my side. I'm taking aim. I'm going after what I want. I'm going after what I need. Luck is on my side. There's an empowerment. There's an emboldening of me. There's a sense of, I know what it is that I want, but we have to quiet things down in order to see it. And we have to trust what we are nurturing inside. We have to trust that there is more than what we realize out there for us. Okay? We have the full moon in Virgo coming up, so our own energy comes through very strongly here. And it says, you are good enough. And there's pleasure in that with the sun coming forward. Once we take pleasure in knowing that I am enough, I am powerful, I'm showing up for me, I am here, we are going to see that there's a release. There's a release that is a game changer. There's a release that is inspiring and powerful and beautiful and just perfect for us. And it brings us then to this place where we start to balance the spiritual and the practical. But we need to see here, as we slow down the impatience that just comes from being human, and we self-reflect. We look at ourselves, which is something, for one reason or another, we're having a hard time doing right now. That sense of self-reflection, because I think we can be so critical with ourselves, Virgo. We can look at things and say, but it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be here or there, that we forget that it simply is, and we simply are. So here, reflecting on ourselves, looking at things from all different sides of the story without judging ourselves or being harsh or being cruel to ourselves, that's important. And we're going to find that once we look at us, we balance the spiritual and the practical. Or as we're balancing the spiritual and the practical, and we're saying, okay, I need to hold sacred space for both of this, both these things. We start to reflect on ourselves, we start to see ourselves, and we start to be able to move forward. And we're not really going to have the patience for that self-discovery or even think it's necessary, and yet it is. Don't let pride get in the way. That's going to be something that's hard. We have that very strong Leo energy coming forward, which can, be seen as pride getting in the way. So here, don't let pride get in the way. There's a purity to what we want. There's a sense of boiling it down. It's kind of like going outside after a snowstorm and all the birds are singing, and there's a moment where it's all just really quiet, and then the birds start to sing and it starts to echo off the snow, and it's beautiful. And there's a sense of like, oh, this is what it's like. This is what it was like when the world was silenced, when there wasn't so much chaos and speed around everything. A purity, a purpose, a purity of ourselves, of a connection. Don't let the ego get in the way. It's going to want to, because it's our modern world, and it's just our world filled with human beings. Our ego wants to get in the way. Embracing what we love will take us on a path that we've expected, but we didn't expect how we're getting there. We're not going to be patient with ourselves, and that's something to realize. We're going to want to push and push and push and push and push. You can always obtain more. I was watching something here on YouTube where it was about like how much money people made. And there was a person making ridiculous money, just ridiculous money. And what she said was she didn't look happy. And she said, you can always have more money. You can always push to be better. And I thought, but what about enjoying the right now? Here, you can always push for more. You can always push yourself and never be satisfied. But what about enjoying the right now? Taking in what you love. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It does. We're questioning our abundance because it's almost as if we're afraid to feel. We're afraid to say, this is my heart. I'm filling it up. We're afraid to feel. We're afraid to connect. The end of the tough cycle approaches. It brings abundance, even though abundance is reversed. But the abundance comes first of feelings. And if we shut down to that, we are going to shut down to a lot of what the universe has to offer us. So do be mindful, Virgo. It just gets me very emotional. So just be aware of this. This can be a very emotional time. It can be a very intense time. Be aware of this. Our subconscious spirit message is balance reversed. We need to get ourselves in balance. We need to see our harmony, what we love, what we want. And if we know, right, that, okay, everything isn't in balance, everything isn't as harmonized as my soul needs it to be, we can start being kinder to ourselves. We can start slowing things down. We can start showing up for us in the way that we need to. It brings us then to our chakra message, which is inner strength. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is a sense of we're coming out of our shell. We're seeing ourselves as stronger, as more resilient, more powerful, more intense than we had ever seen ourselves before. And as we embrace this energy, we start to say, I can do this. I can do this in a way I never thought I could. And I can do this in a way that I always forgot about myself. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. And that's Cernunnos. This is the devil energy. Now, this is Capricorn energy. Here, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And so it's always saying, I have to color inside the lines. It's rules and it's structure. It's top-down structure. It's saying I have to fit in just like this. And Virgo, right now, you don't need to fit in just like this. You need to say, where do I stand for me? But be very mindful, because Cernunnos is chaos energy, right? But every action, be it positive or negative, has a reaction to it. Are we ready for that? Do we see what we love? Do we see what we want? And are we ready for the consequences of what comes out of immediate pleasure? And that's a question here. So just be aware that question comes through very strongly during this time. Sorry about that. Just hit my mic stand. Our subconscious tarot message is the child reversed. We're afraid. We're afraid to take that leap of faith. We're afraid to go after what we want and where we need to stand and what's important to us. There's fear here. The Fool reversed is hearing everybody laugh, hearing everybody say, you can't, and saying, you know what, you're right, I can't. I was foolish even to dream. And that would be a travesty. Spirit isn't saying, quit your job, join the circus type of deal. But Spirit is saying, believe in you, Virgo. Because if you don't believe in you, who the heck will? And why should they? You want to take a leap of faith towards something more. There's something you want to go after deeply. But there's fear there that's going to tether you back. And it's going to keep you there until you look at the fear and you name it and you claim it and you absolutely are aware of it. And then you release it. Or you struggle with it for a little bit because you've become so aware of it. But then it winds up disappearing. It winds up not having the same hold on us as if we're too terrified even to see it or even to say it. So just be aware of this. Our subconscious Luna message is don't let the past hold you back because you are blossoming into the person that you need to be. It doesn't matter your age. I know we always think it does. And it gets scary as time goes by. But here, it says blossom. It's your becoming. You're becoming more than you imagined you could be. And again, there's no time limit here on what you can achieve and how you can achieve it. Don't let the past hold you back. The past is simply a very good story told, even if it's one that we don't think is good at all. But think about what we like to consume, what we like to read about, what we like to hear about, those struggles, those overcomings, those intensities. And so here, if we look at our past as a really good story, as something you would tune in and listen to, that can be helpful. It can be. But we're not going to be held back by our past. We're blossoming from it. So know the power in that. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and happy holidays. Bye.